Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a voiceover on this because I had some crickets in my basement. Although it's nighttime now, the crickets would have been very appropriate for that. Um, the It was quite annoying, and they were really really loud. So I'm gonna do a voiceover. So what I'm gonna build here is going to be like a supply building. It's going to be called Dye Supplies, and I've already got the video up for the tour on that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through the whole build on this and kind of give you my thoughts as I'm going along and some of the trials and tribulations that I experienced while doing that. So without further ado, I wanted to go with the the foundation floors. Usually I do the pier type foundations, but this time I want to do the foundation floors to make it look like this was a building that had already been at this location, and these warehouse floors have the look of masonry, as you can see there. So I felt like it looked like it was something that had been around for a while, and so that's why I went with those, and that was kind of the overall goal there. So maybe the building that was on it had fallen down. As you can tell, coming up, I'm going to use the original kind of scrappy look for the build, and that scrappy look is going to, um, I guess in my mind, basically, I want to go with the attitude that the building itself fell down, and this will be what somebody else had built to follow up with that. And so here I'm building the beginnings of the secret room that I will be adding in, and so I'm going to use those two bump outs there to make the secret room. So um, the little section, the part that would go normally on a corner or whatever, that's going to be kind of the entrance way, and then the rest of it will be just kind of a bit of an expansion into the front room. So um, these walls here, these work great for being able to kind of push them into places really close by. So you can kind of squeeze them up, and they work pretty well for kind of working as fillers and that kind of thing. They're fairly thin, so you can kind of put them in different places. And I was a bit stubborn at the beginning. I didn't want to put the steps on just yet because I wasn't exactly sure where they went. So I had to kind of fight through that process. And so here I'm going to start putting in the interior walls for the secret room. Um, I get started on it, and why I stored that floor, I have no idea. So I get started on it, and then when I get ready to build the other walls, I run into some difficulties, and we'll kind of go through that as we go. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, and right now I'm actually figuring out if like the one big square is going to be enough space, and I think it will be. The big thing that I wasn't sure about is I wanted it to be kind of a hidden room, and if part of that building, just from the outside you can see how big the building is, and if part of the building is taken up by that room, then everybody will wonder, well, where's that room and how do you get in there? So it kind of that part actually kind of breaks the illusion a little bit, but I felt like the overall finished product kind of worked out well. So here I'm going to go around the walls and put up some additional walls and that kind of thing to finish up the project. And like I said, I'm going with a scrappy look on this one, um, mostly because doing the those lend yourself with using the bump outs. Those lend yourself so well to doing that. So um, other than that, it's not near as convenient using some of the other things. Mostly because we can do like the half floors, and but we don't have walls that match up to those. So that's always kind of annoying to me. You know, you don't have the walls, and I could have used the trick with the thin wall to kind of fill in the gap, but I didn't really want to do that. Mostly also because if I was going to use the warehouse or the barn walls, they're taller. So using that partial wall, it doesn't work out so well. Using the thin wall that I filled in the gap with. So here I'm trying to figure out, okay, let's put in our other walls. So I get them in, and but then I run into, and I contemplated using that one, but with the screen mesh on there, you wouldn't be able to see, or you would be able to see in there, and that really kind of ruined the whole effect. And then here I couldn't put the floor back in. I couldn't get the foundation back in, and so kind of going through some frustrations and you know, that kind of thing. It's been a while. I'd taken several months off from building, and so it started to go in, but then it just all of a sudden didn't. So I kind of keep working through this until I get it in there, and you can see I'll figure it out eventually. And this is just another example of you have to do things in just the right order sometimes to make things work. So all of that work, and I end up just putting the floor back into place anyway. So um, you know, starting over from scratch. So it's a little move things around, and you know, very out of practice after taking a couple months off from doing anything. And of course, I step out there and it goes right in. I probably could have done that right at the beginning, which I didn't. Um, but we'll get it all figured out again, and kind of go from there. Nope, can't put that one there because and if I was smart, I'd just leave that one there, right? And then get the. I'm confused. I don't remember how I did this. So I can't leave that one there because I need to put the little doorway part in first. I can't do that because, oh yeah, if I do that, then I won't be able to get into the secret room. So here I'm like, okay, well, let's put that in there, and we'll put that floor back in. Okay, so we got the back wall in. Now let's get the side wall in, and we'll kind of go from there. So okay, there's our doorway into the back room. Let's finish getting the side wall back in here, and hidden. And oh crap, I can't put that part in because again, that has to be out of the road so I can put this in place. So another example of how you need to put things in a very specific order, and you know, trying to get that sucked in there as close as you can really kind of takes a little bit of work, but you get it in there, and end up deconstructing the entire floor system, it seems like, just to get my walls in the way they wanted. It'd be a lot easier if they would have popped in the, you know, at right angles. It would have made a lot things a lot easier for me, but they wouldn't. So we had to adjust fire, and you know, it all obviously works out, but doesn't mean that you don't go through some frustrations during the process. So get that out of the way, and get that one out of the way. Come on, and which one do we need? Okay, so those are in the right spot. Let's pull out. Yeah, let's get that one out of the road. Let's get the front wall in. Grab the right thing, and okay. So now we got two. Well, technically three out of the four walls, and let's get the last wall in. Yay! I feel like I just won something. And the floor goes in. Time to celebrate. Alright, so I still have. Look, and now I'm contemplating, is that going to be a large enough room for the secret stash? I think it will. So we'll just kind of move on from there. And I'm just here. I'm still contemplating. Okay, well, how's this going to affect the size, interior size, and will it mess with the impression that um, you know there's not something hidden. The idea is you don't want people to, when they come in, to know that there's something hidden in there. But if they're walking around, they may end up questioning, well, how do you get in there? And I don't see a doorway, so how's that done? So you could potentially get some people that start questioning things and whatever, but it's it's enough to keep the honest people out. So here I began the process of um, my idea of hiding this, and Liz at More to Me for Life is the first one that I saw do this, and she did it on her build in oh, I can't remember which one it was. Sunset Tidings Co-op. She did it on her build there, on one of her barns that she built there, and I had also seen somebody else do it, and I don't remember who the other person was. I think it was just kind of a random build video or walkthrough video that I had seen. It's not somebody that I normally watch, but I kind of squirreled that back in my mind. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a neat trick. Well, here I kind of thought that I knew that some of the Children of Adam banners were they had different arrangements and some different shapes and sizes, and so that's what I wanted to put in there. So I was looking for those, I couldn't find them, and got a bit frustrated. Well, uh, yeah, the photo definitely won't work. So get the photo out of there. I can't grab the photo. I don't know why I couldn't grab the photo, but so I had to get it out of there, and so move it and store it, and let's get the flag put back in. And I'll tell you, putting these flags up, if you're trying to put them on any kind of irregular wall space, are quite the pain in the ass. And the fact that they'll clip through the pillars and stuff really kind of gets annoying. But eventually I got that put in there, and um, now I'm looking for the Children of Adam stuff again. And as you can tell, I look everywhere except for where I needed to look, and still I have no idea. I'm just like, this doesn't make any sense. It should be here. Maybe because it had been a while since I'd played. I knew that they had kind of rearranged some items, and so I was like, well, maybe they put them someplace else, and still had no luck finding them anywhere. Um, and eventually I just kind of decided, well, I'm gonna have to ask someone for help. I think anyway, but I'm a bit stubborn, so I keep looking, and because this is like the most important thing or part of the entire build, is being able to hide this doorway in an effective manner to where and it's funny, I keep looking at flags. Nope, there's only 3 flags. And so, well, now I've decided that well, I'm gonna go check on Twitter. And so I've checked on Twitter, um, and you'll see the little banner come up. I'm checking on Twitter to find for the KOTOR banners. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put the roof in, because well, at least I can move along and get something done. So, um, yep, got stuck on the doorway, fell out of the doorway, get the roof in, ding. Alright, well, now I have to get back in. So now I can't avoid putting in the doorway any longer. So let's go ahead and make that happen. And it's so annoying that so many of these things don't snap the way you'd like, because having that sideways like that is ideal. That's exactly what I would like to see, but it won't go in there that way. I can put that there, but I can't put one on that end. Um, the warehouse and um, the barn floors, they don't work that way. However, the original shack floors do, so I can put those off to the side. It gives me a bit of a walk space that I can use for the landing area, and now we can just put in some support posts and make sure that it is well supported and all that kind of stuff. Oh, let's lower it. Yep. So I realized, oh, you have to sink it down a little bit to actually get it to fit in there. And I thought about putting one on the front, but I don't like that. I don't think it looks very good when you go in on the front and then you just have you still have your stairs there. It kind of looks weird. You have that knob sticking out of the front of the stairs. So we'll put some handrails in, and these are my favorite handrails to use. The nice thing is they're good and rusty, so they look like you could have pulled them out someplace and used them, and they still um, decided or rusted and that kind of thing. So and here I'm going to patch the roofs with the method that I use from Draco Invictus, or I learned from Draco Invictus. He was the first one I ever saw do it, and I think I've mentioned that before, but um, it's kind of one of the things that I can't help myself but do. So anytime I use these shack roofs, I always double them up to kind of seal things in. And look, I can walk through the flag and go back there, and we'll seal that one in. So now I have a fully enclosed room, and I think I still have to put in the doorway, but then we can start moving towards getting the flags in place. And that in and of itself is going to be quite an adventure. And so here I got a response back from Dolly and from Twitter, Disco Dolly. Um, she saved the day, and so um, she told me where to find them, and they are under the miscellaneous after uh, the wall hanging stuff in the miscellaneous after the buoys. So for those of you that need to help or need help finding them, that's where you can find them. So oh hey look, um, that's where they are. And so as you can see, these banners have a lot of different shapes and sizes and stuff. But I will tell you, between working with the banners and the flags, they are such a pain to work with, because if you get in the wrong position, it just keeps coming back in your face. It won't like adhere to the wall. Yeah, I think you have the same issue with when you're working with paintings and that kind of thing as well. Very frustrating to have those things constantly in your face. Just drives you absolutely nuts. So I remembered that Denise, or Phoenix, uh, uh, Phoenix is her YouTube channel name. She had used some of the Children of Adam items for curtains, and so here I was trying to come up with. I couldn't remember how she had done it, but I was like, well, that seems like a really good idea. So let's try this. So I put out a wall, and well, I can't just use a wall and then delete it because it's going to disappear. So, oh yeah, maybe she used a Bethesda built wall. Well, so I could do that, except for the fact that I can't attach it there. I don't want to attach it to the house, because if I put it on the house and try to pull it off with a pillar, everything else that I built on the house is going to come with it. So I remember, oh, there's the barge down here with all of the shipping containers on it. Let's go down there. So we're going to count how many times I go down there. Ding! Number one. So there's my first trip down. And we are going to work our way down there, and then, oh, let's use the regular fence thing. Nope. Nope. Concrete pillar works so much better. Let's do that. So off we go. We got it pulled off. We run over. We're going to put it in place, and everything's going to work out great. Except I did not account for one item. So I can, as you can notice, if you look at the bottom of the pillar, I can lower it down when I'm on the foundation. However, when I get into the shack floor, as part of that bump out, I can't lower it down. So because of that, I can't. I have to. I can't. I can't do that. So here, I keep stopping, and I don't know why, but when I hit the shift, I cannot. Ding. Number two. When I hit the shift, I stop running. I don't know why. I don't know why. At least when I'm in build mode, I can't hold down the shift key and run. Um, it just seems really weird. So I had messed around the other day, um, well after I had completed this build, and I can do it normally. I don't know why. At least this day it wasn't working, or maybe they patched it and fixed it, or if it was you can't do it while you're in build mode or something. But um, anyway, all right. So we got the first one up there, and that looks all well and good. I want to have the American flag on the outside, or one way or the other. I don't want to have them kind of intermingling, and I need to have one on the outside, one on the inside. That way the textures are correct. So here we go. I'm going to see about putting in another one up here to help fill in all the gaps, and you can see I'm struggling mightily to try to get this into place. It just does not want to go. And so I try a few things, and I cannot just get it placed up there, because I really didn't want to have to grab the pillar, run back across, and do all that again. Every time I tried to come out the door, I would try to turn slightly to my right and jump over the railing, but it wouldn't let me jump. I have no idea. It happened to me so many times. If I turn slightly to the left, ding, number three. If I turned slightly to the left and jumped, I could jump just fine. But you'll notice I keep looking back at the doorway because it was getting a little frustrating. It wouldn't go. So, all right. So here I um, take this one at an angle, and I think, oh well, I need to have it go the other direction. Let me try and see if I can pull this off, and let me see if I can pull this one off, and that way I'll have, okay, so I've grabbed everything. Now that I've grabbed everything, can I delete that one? Yes, I can. So that works out really well. Alright, so now I've got this banner pointed the right direction. So now I can just come in here and put it where I need it. And so I kind of get it into position, because what I wanted to do is cover up as much of that doorway as I can to hide the fact that it's there. So I need to cover the top, the bottom, and all the way across. So off we go. We need another banner that's going to hang down, and ding, number 4. So I'm trying to figure out where the best place to put this other banner is going to be, because I need it to, I need to. I was thinking about putting 2 side by side or something. I can't remember exactly what I was thinking here. But when I put the pillar up there, it was too tall, and that just wasn't going to do. What I should have done was just raised up the banner, so that way when I use the pillar up top, and I didn't figure that out until when I was watching this back through again. But again, I'm trying to sprint and it won't sprint. So I didn't think about that until after I was watching it go back through, that I could have just put the banner up higher than what it currently was, and so that something that you guys can all learn from as well, is if you want to try this trick to just raise things up to where when you put the pillar up there, it's up at the top. So that wasn't going to work. That doesn't go over far enough. and just was not going to work. So now I'm trying to figure out, well, how can I put both of those there? Um, and then I realize, oh, well, I'll just put two banners side by side, and then I can pick them both up and put them in a place. So yeah, let's do that. So um, let's go back again. Ding, number five. 5 trips over here to make this happen. But it's going to be well worth it. And look, if I put that across, it kind of really closes up the top really well, and that's gonna work out really well. So I grab them. Hey, that works great. Let's take off. And I kept running into ledges that wouldn't let me run as well. And so yay, this is gonna work out great. We're gonna be able to cover up the entire thing in one foul swoop, and that it'll cover it exactly the way I want it. And the gray kind of blends in with the walls as well, so that kind of makes me happy. Um, I'm I'm pretty happy with the way that works, um, as well. So I'm pretty happy with things. Let's finish decorating this out and get the idea, because I'm using those flags. I don't want those flags to stick out, so I'm going to use other flags throughout the area to kind of make them blend in, right? So they don't look out of place. So I get all the flags in. Now I can't run through. Why I can't? It worked before. You guys saw me run right through there before when I had the American flag up there. I ran right through it. So what's causing this? Is it the Children of Adam banners? I think it is. So those banners work very much like um, any other items. They actually have collision on them and those types of things, where the flags do not. So all that work, 5 trips over, and here I still couldn't jump. I don't know what the deal was. 5 trips over, and I'm no farther along than what I was when I started. So now I'm going to use ding number 6. Now I'm going to use flags. So I'll put 2 flags up, except for the fact that 2 flags won't go side by side, um, or top to bottom. I can't get 2 flags top to bottom because the only containers that work are at angles, and um, you have to have them at just the right spot in order to make it work. So that's annoying. So now I'm going to run all the way over and just see about putting the American flag up across the spot, and then I'll put up another flag. Maybe I don't have to use the pillar. So I had the American flag up there once, and look, it's in my face, in my face. I'm just trying to lower it down, and it just wants to come back and slap me in the face. It was very, very annoying. I don't know how many of you guys have ever kind of tried to use the flags, and I think, like I said, I think the photos or the paintings and stuff do the same thing. Just very annoying. I don't know why items that stick to the wall do that, but it's just obnoxious. Like I said, it seems to be all right when you're working on an even wall, but anything with uneven textures and that kind of thing, um, it definitely is a bit of an issue. So here I have the idea. Well, I'll put in one of the end caps, and let's get this end cap. It won't go over there. So we'll stick it out front. There we go. Let's put an end cap in here, and then let's try to get the American flag over. And it actually seems to help put the American flag on there, as you can tell. So I get the American flag on there. That works out great. I need to pull the end cap out, and we'll put that back in place. I can walk right through. That works great. Pardon me, I had to get a drink. Ooh, Brahmin Skull, better pick it up. So let's go grab the Minutemen flag. Ding, number 7. 7 trips over, still not closed in the way I want it to. So, okay, so I just have to make sure you get it drops off quite a ways there, so you have to make sure you drop the pillar down quite a ways to get into the mud in order to be able to grab it. So, and for whatever reason, I'm running and jumping at the same time. It's I don't know why, but I was sitting there jumping the whole time. Um, so here we go. Let's get this put into place. All right. Okay, so those two are in place. I can go right through. That works out very well. However, I need something to cover up the top because when I turn around here, you'll be able to see the top is still kind of there. Alright, so this one still would work out best to cover up the top because at the angle you should still be able to walk through there, hopefully. And so, but now it's just a matter of trying to get that up there. I just can't seem to get it up there. So, trying to figure out, and of course, it doesn't help that every time you do something, pardon me, every time you do something, it keeps slapping you in the face and just gets overwhelmingly annoying, especially when you're working in such a confined space. It just drives you absolutely nuts. And so I'm like, okay, fine, let's just go pillar glitch it. Ding, number 8. So here we go. We're going to pillar glitch this, and so I have it. You notice I put the pillar off to the side, and I think what I was doing here was I was contemplating how I was going to do this because I needed to. Oh, I needed to lower it down so I can make sure I push it up. It shouldn't be a problem considering the fact that um, the pillar's long enough. So I get it. I figure I can turn it around. There should be enough gap between there that I can put the pillar on the other side of the wall and pull it out and get the flag put in. So they're on opposite sides of the wall, and it actually works out really well. I make that happen, and like I said, there's enough room that I can still walk underneath it. I don't like how the textures are overlapping, so I'm just going to fix the American flag here. Um, and it kind of has that overlay with the Minutemen, so I want to try to fix the Minutemen flag as well. It's a little bit off, but I don't think it's all that bad. So now I have the effect that I wanted, and like I said, that's the most important part of the entire thing. So um, you can see that that's going to work out well. So now all we have to do is make sure that we hide everything and get everything put into place. So from this point on, it's just a matter of I'm going to go ahead and decorate it off camera and put it all together off camera and everything like that. What I will do is just make sure that I have the finished product and ready for the walkthrough, which you guys have already seen the walkthrough, but I wanted to thank everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you come back and join me again, and please make a comment down below. Thank you very much. Bye.